Have you ever packed an order and you're like, where did this card go? I know I just had it 5 minutes ago. What's up, guys? Alex here, TCG Metagaming, and with today's video, we're going to go over how I inventory my inventory, and kind of like the process that I go about and the ways that I do it, and maybe it might help you, maybe it might help somebody else, you know. So yeah, so a little bit about myself. I've been on TCGplayer for the last 7 to 8 years. I have roughly almost 200,000 in sales. Not bad. Not all profit. I wish it was. So yeah, so let's just pull up my account real quick, kind of go over an overview from the other day. As you can see, I do have 4,000 cards listed. I have a total of currently 33 orders, and let's see where we're at money wise. So we have about 1,800 coming into the bank account. Now I am at zero in my account. I did spend 700 on some inventory, and a lot of this inventory was actually given to me, and then a lot of it, you can see right here, I bought that I hadn't even had a chance to go through and list yet. So we're going to work on that for the next 2 days. I listed, I think, 2,300 cards today. So hopefully we'll get about 60, 70 orders tonight, and then y'all have all that knocked out tonight. So that's where we're at with the account. And today's topic, inventory and how I would sort it. So I mainly deal with TCGplayer, and with TCGplayer, I think the best practice is to sort alphabetically by set if you have a large quantity of inventory. Now, if you only have 50 to 60 cards, just alphabetizing will help you tremendously. But once you start getting into that 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 card inventory, in my opinion, it's probably better to set sort of alphabetize it, so that way it's easier to find when pulling orders. You know, there's been times where I've listed cards and I'm just like, I have no idea where this ash blossom went from A's, and then come to find out it's in B's, you know. So as you can see right here, let's turn around to my little station right here. This is my workstation. So I have my inventory tabbed out with dividers that show letters. So you can see right here, basically all I did was I just put the name of the set. I don't know if you can see it, but basically it has the name of the set that tells me, all right, I need ST13, and then the cards ST13. Now, when I only have like 20 to 40 cards in a set, I'll have it alphabetized, but I won't have it with the dividers that divide the big amounts. And you can see in this one, I have it sorted with the dividers for A through Z, or whatever letters I needed for that account. So when I go to pull an order, if I need something from EBO4, I can find my EBO4 tab, and then I can let's just go to eyes. And there's a pull tab for eyes, and then I just look for what I need out of there. And then same goes for any other set. You know, now the reason why I do this is because there's going to be times where you have a lot of cards to pull, and it's just easier to find. You know, hopefully you get to the point where your inventory becomes big enough that you need to do this. Having all of your A's together, let's say you didn't do this and you just sorted it by letter, you could have 1,000 A's, and then it would be anywhere in that pile. You know, I used to do that. You know, with Yu-Gi-Oh, it's so hard to do by set because there's just so many sets and you're doing it by hand. But I did do that, and then when I would go to look for a card, I would take the whole stack of A's. It'd be like 100 cards, and I would just flip through every single one of them. You're touching the card so many times, and that's how it creates scratches and things of that nature. And it was a mess. You know, there were times where cards would just disappear, and it made no sense. Now, there is another way that people sort their inventory. It's called the chaos inventory. I would watch a video from It's Phantom. He goes over that. I haven't delved into that at all. I don't know if I will. And it might be something that's good in the future. But when you're dealing with, because like I don't know how it's going to affect when you have 30 of the same card, but they're in 30 different spots, if that makes sense. Like he could have a section that says set one, page one, section one. You know what I mean? So I advise you to watch some videos on that. I might try that in the future, but I think with the new sort sifter coming out for TCGplayer, I think when you're sorting your inventory and then you run it through that machine, it will give you the CSV file with the sets. So it'd be easier to upload. But this is how I do it. You know, these don't cost me, but I think $2 or $3 a pack or $5 a pack for I think 25 of these, and then I buy these little dividers off Amazon, and then I just write whatever letter I need on them. And I think this probably would I think it costed me like maybe 20 or 30 bucks. I'm not sure how much it actually costed. But yeah, that's how I do it. You know, like I said, I have 33 orders that I'm about to do here in a bit. So when I go to pull those orders, I want it to be as easy as possible to find them. And this is the way that I think you should do it. Now, a couple other things you need to have in place when you're doing your inventory. Have everything together. You know, like I have everything I need right here in this section. Like I have my envelopes, I got my top loaders if I do decide to use these, team bags. I literally just have my printer. I have everything right here to fix on this little rack right here, and it's perfect. You know, a couple things that I do have a rising desk. So there's gonna be times where I'm gonna raise it up real quick, show you guys. And this is why you don't really need a rising desk, but I'm bragging. But there's gonna be a time where I don't want to sit down when I'm doing orders, and I just want to be able to stand up and kind of go through. Like I can see what I got, you know, and it's just easier to pull cards because when you have multiple boxes of cards, it's easier when you're standing up. You can look down on them to see where the sets are and things of that nature. So um, that's gonna be cool. You know, hopefully I'll have this whole shelf. It's like 3 layers. Um, hopefully I'll have it full of like a box here, a box here, a box here, a box here, and everything's right here. So when I go to pull a lot of orders, I have it right here where I need it to be. So let me lower this down real quick. Bear with me as it goes down. So pretty cool. You don't need a rising desk. It's just something I have. I think it was like $100. You can get them off Walmart or eBay or Dick's Sporting Goods, Best Buy. So yeah, got everything here. Now, I'd like to know in the comments how you sort your inventory. Do you do it just alphabetically because you have a small inventory, or do you do it alphabetically and you have a big inventory? Or do you do it the chaos inventory sort? Or you do it the way I do it. You know, you find a whole bunch of cards from the same set, you list them, you move on to the next set. You know, I'd be curious to know how that's going. Tell me how your sales are going. You know, I want to make videos to kind of like progress through the next coming months. Um, that way you guys can like, oh, how do I pack an order, or how do I inventory, or how do I buy cards? You know, I want you to go to my videos and be like, oh, this is how he does it. Maybe I can translate it into my own um, uh, business as well, you know, wherever the case may be. I do have a couple friends that I'm teaching how to do TCGplayer. It's very easy to do, but I'm giving them like tips and tricks that will help them get further along than if you're just starting out on your own. Now, there's tons of videos online. Watch any of them. Doesn't matter. We all do things differently. There are people that do things easier than others. I watched somebody, you know, and that what makes it easy for them. They didn't have window tin envelopes. They had it wasn't a window tin. Like this piece wasn't here. It was just a flat envelope. And what they would do is they would get the invoice and they would cut it and then tape it on here. That's so much work. You're already printing them. This doesn't cost but like a cent more, I think, on Amazon. I think it's like 20 bucks. And then, you know, like mine are self-sealed. Like I try to eliminate as much hassle as I can. You know, you can get the strips, but then you got the strips to deal with. So like this is a self-sealed envelope. I advise you guys to look into that. It'll definitely help you. But yeah, that's basically how I do my inventory. You know, I'm gonna get to pulling these orders here tonight. I'll have about hopefully 100 of them tonight. But yeah, that's what I do. And if it's helpful, definitely leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.